Which languages do you speak? Sounds like a really easy question, doesn't it? It's not as easy as it first seems. I mean, speaking a language, what does that actually mean? For some people, it could mean just being able to say hello, how are you? Very basic phrases. For others, it might be talking about your family, talking about your situation, your life in general. And for others, further, it could also mean talking about current affairs, things that are happening with the environment, in politics, all those kinds of things. And yet I've also heard people say it could also mean that you can study through that language, maybe get a degree or a master's degree or something like that, studying and using the language to learn. All of these answers are things that I've heard in the past. I've even heard people build on that and say to speak like a native, to master the language, to speak it perfectly. So what does that mean? Speaking with a perfect accent, speaking with perfect grammar, speaking with a super rich vocabulary. Well, in your own language, do you really do that 100% of the time? If you think you speak your language perfectly 100% of the time, unfortunately I have to tell you you're wrong. You don't. No one does. It's impossible. We're not machines, we're human beings. And as a learner, we can't expect that either. So what I think is important is that we look at learning the language to be able to communicate our ideas effectively. Now, the idea of an accent is great. Sounding as native as possible might sound lovely. But when you think about it in a real context of what does that mean? Well, are you going to fool people 100% of the time that you're from that country? What happens in a conversation when you don't know about the history or things that were happening in the country when you would have been little growing up there? It would always give you away at some point, even if you could master the accent and the grammar to the point that a native cannot tell by listening to you that you're not from there. It feels almost like there's no real need to do that. And really the important thing is communicating our ideas to the level at which we need them to be communicated at. And anything extra is a bonus. So make sure you give yourself a break. Allow yourself to make mistakes, allow yourself to learn the language and to enjoy your accomplishments with the level you want to use the language at, and have understanding for others learning your language too. I'm Richard Simcott and I'm the founder of the Polyglot Conference. I love languages and I've studied over 50 of them myself.